Hello lovely people, I have an update on the amp rack. This video is going to be stitched from many little pieces that's going to be spread out over a long period of time. But anyway, so first of all, positioning everything. So I measured, you can see with the pencil and everything, I marked the spots for the bolts. What I have is, I have enough space for 5 RCAs on this side. On the top, I have space for 2 power wires and 4 speaker wires. So it's gonna fit in this place. The RCAs are gonna run through the top here like this. Speaker and wire from, so what, power wire from this side into there, speaker wire from this side into here. And these, they don't play a very crucial role because you can adjust them a little bit, but this is the main thing. So this now is, I have enough space for the RCA go from this side and just make a nice little bend till there. Yeah, I'm gonna show you just like this. So it's gonna have a nice bend until the end, because if it's gonna be too much, it's gonna be sticking into the actual plastic trim. It's gonna be too much, then it's not gonna look as good. So I have enough space for 2 RCAs like this, exactly the same on that side. I have plenty of space on the top for the power and optical and everything else. And for here is just this. Everything is centered in the middle, exactly the same distance to this. It's straight 90 degrees, exactly the same distance to this, straight 90 degrees. This one is spot on in the middle, exactly the same distance there and there. RCAs are not centered in the, like, it's not symmetrical, but the DSP has to be symmetrical, not the RCAs, because it's more important. So now drill holes, make the inserts, and these are going to be fixed in place. Test fit, just to make sure everything fits right. So I have these rubber feet, but these feet are not for vibration damping or anything. It's just literally just a little bit lift the amplifiers from the amp rack, just to have a little bit of a gap like that, because these amplifiers, they run really hot, so I need just a tiny bit gap, and it's just purely for that. The DSP, I have the same for the DSP, just because they would look the same. Would be like only amplifiers on these and DSP without, so just the DSP doesn't get hot, but I have these pads just to make them look nicer. And I have these little black bolts, and you can see like that. It looks very nice, it fits. And the bottom, I do have maybe 1 millimeter protruding, but it's not going to be an issue. If it's going to be an issue, you just need to grind it off. But yeah, so test fit, they're going to look like this. Next, I think, is going to be the power wire. So these are the positive runs. And remember when I said about welding wire, that you can bend it and it's going to stay like this. So this is exactly how it is. I just, it's not fixed or anything, but like these sharp corners with the welding wire, there's no issue. So I just need to strip it, put a ferrule on, and it's going to go in there like that. This, you need to be a bit straighter. So this is going to go a little bit down and it's going to be pushed in the terminal like so. It's going to be much closer. And then this is straight. The negative is going to be exactly the same right next to it on the top, just like that. I have a positive from this one going there, and that's the block. So now I'm not sure if I should put it like this and have this terminal for the DSP, or should I put it like this and have this terminal for the DSP. I'm leaning towards like this something, and the DSP might be run like around, because I need the negative as well. And the problem with negative, that it will have to cross this wire and go there, and it has to take a bend of some sort. Otherwise, it's really not possible to like put them too close together. That's why in my previous install, I made a custom distribution block just to have the wires nicer, but it's going to be something like this. Now I'm going to be working on the negatives. See, like this. It's exactly what I mean. Welding cable, it stays. That's why, just like that. It's very nice to make something like this. Oh man, I was pondering for like probably half an hour or even more, just this. And I couldn't figure out a way to do everything without one jump. So just one jump it's impossible. It's like a three-body problem. It's like literally impossible to do anything. So I have negative there, positive there. Negative is going to the negative. This negative is going to the negative, positive, and positive. I'll just need to make these corners a bit nicer. This jump a little bit nicer as well. Maybe I can jump this cable over the top, because there's like here you have like 3 bends, and here would be just 1 over the top. So probably I'm gonna jump the negative one. And then for the speaker wires, they're gonna go from here. They're gonna go like this 90-degree angle all the way there, and they're gonna go through the bottom, because then it would be another crossing. But these have to be elevated anyway. So through the bottom, on the top, on the bottom. So these 8 are gonna be straight there, and the other 4 from that amplifier is gonna go a bit further and up as well, and they're gonna meet something like this. So gonna be 5 and 4 there. But yeah, these power wires, oh man, I still need to do for the DSP, but DSP is gonna be small wires. It's gonna be everything bunched into one. And the remotes are gonna be in between these wires at the bottom, very thin cable, just at the bottom, and ting, and you're not gonna even see it. It's just gonna come up here into the remote, and exactly the same here, in between the cables, next to this one, and in there. Yep. This one bend looks better than that one. It's less protruding, especially looking from the back. It's just straight. So yeah, something like this with a power, just need to trim it to size, braid it, and power is gonna be pretty much done. Then the speaker wires. The speaker wires, since they're very thin, I just can measure the length, maybe terminate them, but everything has to go on top of that bloody vinyl. So yeah, remove everything, put vinyl, and put everything back.
Daddy, look how much I got.
Yes, you have a lot. So there's always something unexpected, and this case unexpected was that when I put the power wires here, the bottom RCA, I couldn't put it in because it was literally touching the wires.
Look, Daddy.
That's very nice.
Mine.
Yours, yes. So I removed these and I kind of angled the DSP up so that the RCA wouldn't be flat, but it would be like this. So now I can put it in with no issues. So I'm happy with the wires. Now just the braiding. So I have this black and gray that I used before, and I still have some red, something like this. So this is with the braiding, with all the curves and everything, because these wires are going to stay as they are. They're not going to go anywhere. This one now I'm just doing the red one, the black one. Negative, just put some heat shrink on the ends. This, I don't like how it looks like, but yeah, it's like, this is not perfect. But from far away and hidden deep in the amplifier, you're not going to see it anyway. It's going to be something like this. Ow, ow, ow. Hot, 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 hot. And that one there, and 2 negatives. And final test fit. So these distribution blocks are going to be different, but oh my god. Yeah, so it's going to look something like this. And the only thing I will need to, after the vinyl, I'll need to glue them on, and that's going to be it. And then speaker wires and RCAs. And the rest is just bits and bobs. So this vinyl, I actually really like it. So the whole sheet, I have only this left. It was the whole sheet like that, plus a little bit, plus like this much. It's 20 pounds. And if you use a heat gun, it sticks very nice. So I have the only stem here, which was, it was folded in half when it was delivered. So I put it like under the amp, so it's not, you don't see that much. From far away, it's barely noticeable like this, but everything else is very nice. This, like this, and yeah, the contrast is amazing. So again, test fit. I'm going to remove the DSP. I need to put like a very straight board there through all the length, and then I can glue in the actual power wires, and they're going to be fixed in place because they're not going to move anywhere. If I need to remove the amplifier or whatever for measuring, because I will be measuring that amplifier, just disconnect everything and pull it out. But yeah, I really like it how it looks like. So this is the next day. I glued this on. I didn't glue these on yet, but they kind of stay in place. Now, I think I'm gonna run the speaker wire. So I'm gonna run this, and so this is gonna be, as I mentioned, two channels gonna be bridge. So 1, 2, and 3 and 4 is gonna be bridged. Now, I was thinking about the remote wire. Instead of running a separate remote wire, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this speaker wire, I'm just gonna peel it so it'll be only one, and that one cable I'm gonna run together with the speaker wire. So it's gonna be like there, and up. And the speaker wire is gonna be something like this, just flat. I cannot show you flat. And the corner itself, because you cannot bend the wire in the corner, so I'll have to go like this on top of each other. So it's gonna be a sharp 90-degree angle like that. And it's gonna be like so. And then right next to it is gonna be like this. And then the remote, I'm thinking, pull it up together with the speakers, go up till here, and here we're gonna have the remote for the DSP, which is gonna go like this. And I'm planning running this wire under the DSP, and it's gonna come out through here. So this bend, so there's gonna be like a hideout for the remote. The remote is gonna come here, and it's gonna go in there under the DSP. It's gonna come out through this side because remote in out from the DSP is on this side here. So it's gonna be perfect. The remote is gonna be kind of hidden together with the speaker wires. And I'm gonna run these. I'm still waiting for the blocks. They should arrive maybe today or tomorrow because these are gonna go just straight. So the problem with this is that these terminals, you can see, they're staggered. So the positive is longer than the negative. So you just need to measure. So one make it a bit longer than the other one. So both of them are gonna go in and both of them are gonna look the same. So yeah, now running the wires, I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So I prep the small wires like this. So different lengths, you can see, just because I need something like this. So then when I tack it straight, it's gonna look nicer. So this is gonna go up, this is gonna go next to it. These small ones are gonna go straight up into the distro block. But yeah, with ferrules, red and black according to positive and negative. Okay, so I'm starting to tacking it up with super glue, something like this. So the remote goes in there and it's gonna go right next to the power wire. Then there's one band, second band, and the third one is gonna come out same. So we're gonna have these wires going that way. And then that's gonna go up, but something like this. Where's this one? The power, the negative ground, just like that. Yeah, it looks a bit weird because it's not like, I'm not straight and everything is not straight, but something like this. So I'm going bit by bit. Super glue, a little bit bead, tack it, spray it with the activator, and it sticks. But yeah, something like this. And I do like how it looks like. So I have, as I mentioned, a remote. That's the bridge channel. That's one. I will need to put another one there. And here you have the other remote that going like here, and it goes under there where you're gonna have that plug-in knob where you won't be able to see it. One thing that I don't like is here, if you can see here, there's a gap, a little millimeter gap. So it's not gonna be visible, but that's the thing. When you do things yourself, you see all those little bits and pieces. But yeah, looks cool. So almost finished with the cables. Speaker cable. So this is fine. This is nice. I like how this looks like. It's gonna go there. I just need to pull it out from that side. These I just stacked only one in place using this thing. So basically, I just put it in, and it gives me a nice 90-degree angle, just like that. It's gonna be straight. Now this is mine, but I just checked the dimensions and it's exactly the same as I ordered because there's bigger ones and smaller ones, but this is exactly the same, just 8. So it's like this. So I can use it as a template just to have it in place and to run the wires, because these will have to spread out a little bit because the distance between the bolts is 9 millimeters. And the distance between this is 11 millimeters. So they will have to spread out a little bit. But yeah, I like how it looks like. So this, and these are gonna go over each other like that. Oh man, some tedious work with rulers and everything just to measure like the distance and everything, because where is it? This one. So when I'm gonna get this one, you can see that this is 1, 2, something like this, 4, 8. and here I'm gonna have like the junction, and then the new one is gonna start from there. So I need to make sure that everything is correct. But yeah, so this is done like that. And now I have 3 more wires to run like this. And the speaker wires, I think, yeah, the speaker wires are gonna be done. Whew, finally, the speakers wires are done. And this is exactly how I envisioned. Like, well, for some reason, I thought that this gap is gonna be smaller because I thought everything is gonna be a bit lower, but it's even better because I'll have more space for the RCAs. So the RCAs, instead of going from here and landing there, they can go here all the way down, then take a sharp turn and go like this. Well, yeah, something like this. I love how it ended up. Everything is straight. It might not look straight because of the camera, because of the angles and everything, but yeah, so I'm still waiting for those distribution blocks. When they're gonna come, I'm gonna put probably ring terminals, not fork, but I'm gonna ring terminals, heat shrink and everything, and it's fine. So you can see all red, all black. So this one, and this is exactly what I mean when I said that I'm looking at the wiring and not looking at the distribution of like stuff. So for example, it's going to be exactly the same with the RCAs. The RCAs is going to be 1, 2, AB is going to be for probably channel 1, 2, or for the subwoofer, and it doesn't matter. And here is the same. We have the subwoofer is this one. So this is going to be the subwoofer, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. And then these 3 are from this one. So this is gonna be the bridged channel that we're not gonna use, and this is mid bass left, mid bass right, whatever. And yeah, there you go. So now I think I can start working with the RCAs, because I still need one. I will finish the power and everything for the DSP and everything only when I'm gonna have the distribution blocks and this one. But now this, everything opened up, all of this. So now I can do the RCAs to there and to there, and exactly the same, glue them in. RCA time. So this is the most going to be even more tedious than the speaker wires and the power wires, because every length of RCA has to be custom, and there's where the custom thing comes in. So just as a reminder, I'm using Van Damme instrument cable and Chinese from AliExpress RCA plugs, which look very, very nice. So I remove the rubber caps. And this is the thing. You measure from one end to the, so this is not tacked, it's just to the other end, and it's gonna go. I already put the braiding. I don't know, I cannot show it with one hand. So it has a very nice bend, something like this. Next to the amplifier, here is gonna go straight, and like this, something like this. So that's one. So it's gonna be one by one. You do one, you tack it in place, you do the second one, tack it in place, and so on and so on. So one is gonna have 3, the other one is gonna have 5. And for the subwoofer, I'll just need to split it. So whenever I'm gonna do this one towards the end, probably somewhere like here at the very, very end, I'm just gonna split it in 2 and have 2 RCAs. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I love doing RCAs, but it's the most tedious work because every single end you have to like take off, you have to take off that, you have to measure correctly, and then solder on top of that. So yeah, let the fun begin. And this is one finished RCA. So like making RCAs is not that difficult. Come on, focus. As long as you have good tools. I mean good solder. So this solder, I bought it on eBay. I won an auction. I have 2 of these rolls. They're, I don't know, super old, but so good. So solder, some heat shrink, and this, and it looks amazing. As SpongeBob says, half an hour later. Something like this. Just need to tack it with super glue, and it's gonna be super cool. It is nighttime now, everybody's asleep, so I'm gonna try to be quiet. The only thing that's left is to tack them with super glue. I made this one, which is like 1 RCA that goes into 2, like a splitter. But yeah, looking good so far. Now super glue and main wiring is gonna be pretty much done. And this is how it looks like with all the RCAs done. So exactly as I want it, all the way around and there, because maybe corners would look good as well, like if you would go 90-degree angle there, but it is a coax cable, so I didn't want to bend it like on a very sharp angle. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. It's not symmetrical, but it kind of looks cool. I think it's just going all the way around. This to me looks like kind of a wave. So if you notice, I kind of tried to align these thingies, and that's the thing, is like if it's aligning here, this one is not aligning, but like here is aligning and this is not aligning, so it kind of bugs me. But it's kind of aligning on this side and it's kind of aligning on this side. Perfect. I'm not very happy with this situation here and here because it doesn't look like a normal natural flow. I try to rearrange it just to have it like at least a bit better, but it is what it is. So yeah, now I'm just waiting for the blocks arrive, those blocks arrive, and then the next day, whatever, I'm gonna try to do everything here on the top with the DSP power and the Bluetooth adapter and everything else. So yeah, not much left, not much left. Now I'm working on the power for the Helix DSP and the Bluetooth adapter. So this is not, it's not that one, it didn't arrive yet, but that one arrived. So that one looks nice. So this, I have the remote, as I said, it's coming from there. So I splice it into one, and that one goes into the remote out for the amps. Remote in is the blue one, and power and ground for these. Now this, in the beginning I wanted to power it from a relay and a DC-DC converter because it's 5 volts. So I wanted to fire it from the Helix, a remote output, into the relay. But then I thought I'm gonna have this, which is remote from the car, which is ignition live, and it's plenty enough juice. So I'm gonna wire the relay and the DC-DC converter when it comes directly from this, not from the DSP, because it's kind of the same, it's not a problem. So now I'm just running power and ground and these into there, through there, and there, and I'm gonna put the DC-DC charger and the converter somewhere in the corner as well, and I think it's gonna look nice. I just need to make sure that these wires are like perfectly straight going up till here. And these are the wires, so I did make sure that they're straight. So this one is the controller, the URC. So I didn't braid all of it, just a little bit, because I don't need it all braided. And I tacked it because I didn't want to glue on the actual cable, so I glued on the braiding because it's easier to replace the braiding. This one, the power, I like how it looked like in the corners. So this is power goes there. I just need to sort out when I'm gonna get the DC-DC charger. That's the remote, and this optical, it is stiff. I want to fix it somehow, but there's gonna be high level inputs in here. So the 9-wire cable that's gonna go like that. So I might braid that one, glue it in, and then when that one is gonna be in, then I'm gonna glue this just to tack it in place so it wouldn't like rattle or stuff, because it is fiber, it is stiff, but you can hear it does rattle. But yeah, short cable. I don't want to bend it too much because obviously it's optical, so it's gonna break. But yeah, something like this. All good. This goes in there as I planned, next to the remotes out. And yeah, looks cool. So finally, the terminal blocks arrived. So I put them here, align them properly, 90 degrees, spaced. However, I didn't mess up. And I messed up in a way that I didn't kind of count this distance properly. So now I have this going to the side instead of, and this one is going to be much less to the side. It's not perfect, but yeah, it is what it is. So I'm using these little terminals, the ring terminals, not fork, because these are not going to be removed anyway. Some little heat shrink, and it's going to be something like this. That's one. This is with a crimp, how it looks like. Yeah. just like that. I know these are not supposed to be crimped with this open barrel crimp, but I'm still using it and it looks good. It's a good connection, so it's gonna be fine. So all of these and this side is gonna be done. Speaker wire is done. All looks good. And again, it's not perfect. I don't like this one. There it goes. And I don't like this one. But hey, it is what it is. Not perfect because I'm already tired. I enjoying this, but I'm a bit tired. That's the only thing that's left. So this is the little DC-DC charger that does 12 to 5 volts. Now it is way overkill, 15 watts only for this. But in case we will want to maybe connect some 5-volt LEDs or something later, yeah. So I'm thinking to put it like right in here. The other option would be like down there, but that's just, and this is just an empty space anyway with some other wires. So I'm thinking put it right there. These two, the 5 volts, are gonna go directly into this one, and I'm planning to connect this, the positive one, to the remote of the car, which is ignition live, and it's gonna provide more than enough current for this, because this one I measured, it draws 60 milliamps, which is literally nothing. This is gonna draw nothing as well. So this is gonna go to the remote like that, ground into ground, and these positive negative directly into this one. And I think that is it. I'll put this one here, it goes there. So these few wires are probably the messiest thing in the whole amp rack, because there's literally no other way with the leads being so short. I try to hide some connections under these two, but like here, I cannot do anything. They're just two short wires, too little space to work with. But this is pretty much it. So this is a remote that I'll have to connect to the other one, because it just looks nicer like this, because it doesn't have a connection of any sort. So yeah, this, ground, positive, speaker wires out, and maybe the high levels if we're gonna use them. But this is pretty much it. Final tests, just testing if all the wires and everything is correct. So I tested 12. I have a power supply 12.5 volts. Everything is fine, everything is going through. And just to show you this, so the remote, now I'm measuring the current that's going through the remote wire. So the remote wire is powering this one, and the DC, it goes into the Bluetooth, and the same remote is going into the DSP. And the Bluetooth is drawing 40 milliamps about. So it's on, it's probably it's not blinking, but it's on. So 40 milliamps is going to be perfectly fine for even any kind of remote, even from the radio. So no issues there. Everything is working, everything is fine. I just double check these wires and everything is fine. That's it. That's it. This is a final result of the whole amp rack complete. So to summarize, it took me, I didn't count, but I would assume about 10 to 15 hours of like pure labor. It's just because I was doing it on and off when my little one was like watching a movie or playing or something, because it was over the Easter holiday. So I had to do it. I think it took me more than 7 days to complete from start to finish. But again, an hour here, an hour there. So I'm really happy how everything ended up, how everything looks. That corner is slightly overcrowded, but it's not a big issue. Here is a bit empty, so for symmetry, but I really like the speaker wires because I left them bare, and pure copper looks amazing. I really like the RCAs as well that they go there, and everything on the top, I really like it as well. Now, a few things that I don't like, because we have to be critical about our work anyway, as whatever it is, you have to be a bit of a critical. So these, as I mentioned, these corners, I really didn't like that. I kind of miscalculated. I should have spread these a little bit more just to have them align perfect with the blocks and not with these. So that's number one. Another thing is with these, I couldn't make them look any nicer on this or that side. So same with this, it could look a bit nicer somehow, but I don't know how to do it. So it is just what it is. And as I mentioned, this corner is a little bit overcrowded. So we have positive, we have the remote, this, and it kind of everything is bunched up, and I didn't have any space in here. What I should have done probably is put the Bluetooth on that side, and on this side have the DC-DC charger, and maybe look the wires nice and stuff. But it is what it is. I think it's done. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. So now the only thing that's left is to put this thing into the car, hook up the speaker wires, hook up the power, and that's gonna be pretty much it. It's gonna be kind of functional and playing. The other thing that I wanted to do is, because these amplifiers are kind of scratched up, if you see, so they are a bit old and beat up, so I would like to repaint them, because it's only these 4 screws. You just take them off and the whole panel comes off. Just remove the LEDs, this comes off as well, and just some spray paint or something, but it could be for a bit later, I don't know. But all in all, I love doing amp racks. I love taking my time, I love planning every single thing, and I hope the next one, the one that I'm going to be doing for myself, is going to be even better. I'm going to be avoiding some mistakes that I made on this one. So if you watched till the end, thank you very much, because it was probably a very long video. In the upcoming week or next 2 weeks, we're going to be installing this in the car. I'm going to make some spacers. I have the beauty panel already made with the holes for the subwoofer and everything. I want to show you that. But this is pretty much it for the amp rack. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.